Okay, hello everyone. How are you doing? My name is Julian Andres Uni, and today we are going to have our in synchronous session about the topics explanation for the Model 1 of the course Upper Intermediate English 1. So these are the topics that we're going to talk about today. The first one, course introduction, like a short reminder about the course rules and procedures. Then we have the Model 1 content and the grammar review for the Model 1. Finally, we are going to check the Model 1 tasks and some final comments if we have them at the end. All right, so short reminder of the course composition. We have 6 activities in total in just one module. The 3 learning activities and the 3 assessment activities. Assessment activities are those that we call them quiz and final exam. Those quizzes are referring to activities that you have to present to test your knowledge. Yes, what you have learned and developed during this course. And the learning activities are like workshops. So those workshops are long and you can like stop presenting and restart presenting them without submitting the questionnaire. You can enter and go out from that activity as many times as you need. But with the assessment activities, you cannot do that. You have to finish all your activities, all the questionnaire in the 75 minutes, including the speaking part. All right, let's continue with the grammar review of the course. We have this first topic that is what is reported speech? So reported speech is, for example, this is the information, and when this person tells that information, when this person is reporting that information, we call them reported speech. So it is to retell information to another person. So we have in here 3 people. Person number 1, John. Person number 2, Andrea. And person number 3, Diego. Person number 1, Andrea, did you hear Diego told me that? So you are reporting what Diego said at the beginning. We use reported speech to share information from newspapers, articles, everyday conversations, or simply gossip. Yes, but it is just like the technical way to call that tell someone something that someone else told you. So we have to make this comparison between direct speech and reported speech. With direct speech, we use the same words of the speaker. Yes, we using quotation marks. Yes, quotation. You say exactly in the way that you use that you heard the other person saying the the content. Yes, for example, she said, I like Peter because you are using exactly the words. That is direct speech. But normally we don't use direct speech. We use reported speech to say what a person said. For example, she said she liked you. Let's see some specification that we need to have in the reported speech. So the first aspect to consider is we change the tense. Why we change the tense? Because when the person tells uh, um, a story, uses, for example, the simple present. Yeah. And if that person says, for example, I am a lawyer, when you are going to retell that information, you are not in the same moment of that first communication moment. Yeah, there's going to be some time in the future. Yeah, so that present is going to become to the past of that moment in which you are going to retell that information. We have direct expression here, I am or is. We are going to change it for was, are, to were. We are going to check a little bit in detail with an example. If we have the verb to have in present, must part present perfect like has, have, or has been, or have participated, we are going to move to the past participle. Yes, if we have in regular present, we move it to simple past. If we have it in present, we move it into past. And here are some examples. If you have the present simple in the first communication moment, you are going to report using the simple past. She said that it was cold. Look at it. We change it for was. In the present continuous, we are going to use past continuous. The person says, I am teaching English online. Over here, she said that she was teaching English online. Yes, that is what you have over there to report. If you have the present perfect, you are going to use the past perfect. So it is like moving one tense back to the past. We have an example. I have visited different countries. She said that she had visited different countries. Look at it. We have had in here and in here is have. So that changes the past perfect. Direct speech. For example, if we have past simple, it was easy to understand. For example, in here, she said that it had been easy to understand. If you have past simple, you move to past perfect. In the direct speech, past continuous, I was working yesterday night. We have the past perfect continuous. She said she had been working yesterday night. In the past perfect, I hadn't traveled there before. We don't have any change because there are no tenses back from the past perfect. So we use the same one. She said she hadn't traveled there before. Second aspect that we need to consider for the reported speech, we need to change the personal pronouns. Why? Because you are not the person that is mm, facing the first communicative moment. Yes, you are the person who heard the communicative moment. Entonces aquí tú no eres la persona que está, tú eres la persona que está reportando, no la persona que vivió el momento comunicativo, ¿sí? Por eso hacemos este cambio en personal pronoun. Entonces, la persona dice, I am sick. Como tú lo reportas, he told me that he was sick. You see, we change the pronoun because you are not going to tell yo estoy enfermo, porque tú no eres el que está enfermo, sino la otra persona que te contó. Yes. They say to her that she was not admitted. Mm. De nosotros le pasamos a we, le pasamos a us. ¿Listo? They to them. Listo. Vamos a ver. She said to her, aquí, to her. She told him, she said to them, you told us. You change the personal pronouns for object pronouns, as long as we have it in here. The third aspect, the time and place words. So we need to move to the past, the time expressions. For example, if you have in the original tense in the direct speech, now you are going to change it for then. Today for that day. This week for that week. Tomorrow for the next day. Yesterday for the day before because it's not always going to be yesterday. Last week, the week before. And about places, if the person says here, you're going to tell there. If the person says this, you're going to tell that. And from this, you have those. We have in here an example. We will meet here tomorrow, okay? They say that we would meet there the next day. ¿Listo? Acá en estas no tenemos la de futuro, pero cuando tenemos futuro con will, vamos a representarlo con would en ese caso. There's another thing that you need to bear in mind. How to report simple questions, yes or no. You are going to use if in an affirmative sentence. ¿Listo? We have a question, for example, are you okay? the question over here, are you okay? The dog asked me if I was okay. Listo. Se cambia la pregunta por esta forma de afirmativa con if. He asked me if I wanted to play a game. You see? Do you want to play a game? No, he asked me if I wanted to play a game. Have you ever been in love? She asked me if I had been in love. If we have a WH question in the original communication, we are going to report it like WH question. For example, we use what, where, when, why, how, who as a connector. For example, he asked me where I lived. We don't use the auxiliaries do or does. Yes, and we use like an affirmative sentence without any question mark. All right, we have embedded questions. What are those embedded questions? Are that kind of sentences composed by a full sentence, but inside we have an question sentence. Una oración normal que tenemos y en la mitad tenemos como una pregunta. No vamos a marcar el inicio de la pregunta, sino vamos a hacerlo de la siguiente forma. I cannot remember where I left my keys. Ahí está una pregunta incrustada, embedded. Do you know where your keys are? I do not know where your keys are. The structure will be subject plus verb embedded question. Listo. Tenemos también cleft sentences. Se dividen en oraciones, ¿sí? Vamos a ver. Y para marcar esta división, vamos a tener como unos indicadores de esa división. ¿Cuáles son? Who, where, yes, whose. Vamos a tener esos indicadores. Y para eso necesitamos una una frase relativa, más o menos. ¿Listo? The grammar structure is it plus the verb to be plus the subject or object plus that the relative clause. It was my dad who bought the tickets. That is clause 1, clause 2, and the cleft indicator. We have also gerunds and infinitives. We use these gerunds to kind of give a sense of subject to a verb. Entonces lo que hacemos es como sustantivizar un verbo, más o menos, como volverlo parte de un sujeto en lugar de ser como una acción. ¿Listo? Entonces tenemos gerunds that are those ones that are using the ing form, and infinitives, the ones that are next to the preposition to. For example, to learn. In here, drinking water is good for your health. You have the ing. And you look at it, it looks like a subject. Parece un sujeto, ¿cierto? Y aquí, she is here to learn, para aprender. ¿Ya? We have this topic that we just checked like in a previous course, but we are going to try to merge it in here, definite and indefinite articles. We do with what we do with these articles is that we define, yes, or undefine some subjects. And is used when you have to give like the number one to a subject. We have an use to mention one before an sound subject that is using the vowel sound. For example, okay, for example, an artist, yeah, is used to mention a general item or when the speaker refers to something unknown. A is the indefinite article that is used before a noun that starts with the consonant sound. For example, um, a book. Yes, when the speaker uses a is the same, like to mention a general item or refers to something unknown. But the definite article is the. When you use the, you are referring to a specific object. Yes. Um, we use it in any cases when we have vowel sound or consonant sound. It doesn't matter. We use it to indicate that the speaker or reader already know the noun or the subject selected. The phrasal verbs, we are like checking phrasal verbs during all of our courses, but we are going to focus on these ones. Blow away, it it was very windy, and I was blown out of my house when my hat blew away. That means that it kind of flown. Yeah, it went really far because of the fly, because it flown. Um, my heart was on my mouth. It doesn't mean that you had your heart in your mouth, but you were like really worried about something. My heart was in my mouth when I realized I did not have my wallet in my pocket. It was a blast. When I was in the stadium, I was very excited of watching one of my favorite soccer teams. Definitely, I could say it was a blast. It means that you had a really exciting moment, that was really special moment, because you managed to reach something really fantastic over there. Overwhelming. That overwhelming means that it is kind of that you cannot afford, like with your you cannot afford the quantity of things that you have to do or you have to think about. Yeah. Today was a busy day. It was an overwhelming journey. So you had a lot of things to do or to think, and you could not afford to do it, to do them all. Bien, tenemos aquí voz pasiva, passive voice. Es otro tema así como un tris complejito y vamos a tratar de explicarlo en español para mayor entendimiento. Voz pasiva es la forma en la que nosotros intercambiamos un poquito los lugares del sujeto y el objeto en una oración. Por ejemplo, yo digo, yo lavo mi carro, ¿sí? Yo lavo mi carro. Entonces, mi carro es el objeto y yo soy el sujeto que está haciendo la acción. ¿Cuál es la acción? Lavar. ¿Cómo lo puedo cambiar? Entonces, yo puede ser, mi carro es lavado por mí y yo quedo como en último lugar ahí como relegado y mi carro viene a tomar como el papel de sujeto en esa oración. ¿Cómo se ve en inglés? iPhones are manufactured in different regions of China. Yes. So you have iPhones in the place of subjects, and the company could be like, or the different regions, or the it's manufactured by, it could be like the object over there. Yeah. iPhones are in manufacturing in Colombia. In the interrogative form, you use the verb to be at the beginning. Are iPhones manufactured in different regions of China? Or where are iPhones manufactured? Or yeah, or when are iPhone manufactured in different regions of China? And this is like the structure of a question using the passive voice. If we have the simple past tense, we are going to use the verb to be in past. The telephone was invented in in 1876 by Alexander Bell. Yes. The telephone was invented in China. Yes. You continue working with the past participle of the action verb in there, invented. And the question form, if you have it at you are going to move the verb to be at the beginning and the same. Was the telephone invented in France? If we have modal verbs in the passive voice, we use it like to express possibility, dirty, or disability. This pronoun could be sold in different countries. And look at it, we have the subject and before the verb to be, the modal verb. In the negative form, we are going to use the negative form in the modal verb, and that's it. Now the difference that we have over there. And the simple question, we move the modal verb to the beginning of the sentence to create the question. Should this product be delivered for free? All right, let's continue with the next topic. The next topic is academic writing. We have academic writing like a way on express texts really coherently in terms of this structure because like in the scientific areas like people used to write like this. So we have three main parts like for an essay: introduction, body, and conclusion. In the introduction, you have to state general statements, definitions, thesis, and preview of the article or a general scope of the article that you are going to be working on the body. So in the introductory part, you'll have a general statement. Mainly in the first part of a text, you are going to write a topic sentence. A topic sentence includes like a set of ideas that support the full text. So you are going to try to give the idea of your text in all, only in one paragraph. Yes, having a topic sentence. What you are going to do? Look for the more important, like the most important, sorry, the most important ideas from your text, and you are going to create a full sentence, like expressing those ideas. Also, in the body, we are using the main arguments. Yes, you are debating and creating and stating your arguments. You are going to explain to the reader the evidence that supports your ideas, and usually the most important ones come at the very beginning of the body. And in the conclusion, you use it to relate, to give a summary and to give recommendations for the reader to continue doing his research. For example, you give the reader a brief reminder of the main ideas. It is almost like the same, but like an introduction. But in this part, you are like after your debate, you are giving a reminder of those ideas, a summarize, and in the recommendations, we use them to tell the reader what the reader, the writer believes in the best action to take considering the evidence in the essay. All right, let's continue with collocations. For the collocations, we use them um, to make and to do. These collocations are like, kind of words that we are using for certain uses and that could be like difficult to understand without a context. Yes, we use make when we want to refer to things or events that we were not that we were not there before. On the contrary, we use do to refer to actions that can be interpreted as a chores. So we have, for example, do the laundry. So things that you can do with your hands, mainly with do, and make the ones that you need to think to create them. Yes. We also have forget versus leave. We use forget when we accidentally leave something. Yeah, it was not intentionally, but leave is when we do leave something intentionally in a place. Yes, that is the difference. We also have argument versus discussion. Discussion could be like more like civilized or like something like that. You are talking and expressing your differences, but without arguing, without yelling, without saying any good bad words to your speaker. So yes, it is like kind of the different situation. The arguments probably are more informal, and the discussions could be in more laboral or the work environments. Yeah. We also have earn versus win. Earn is exclusive um, to refer to the salary. Yes. So when you are talking about money, we use mer earn. And when you, for example, win something because of the luck or because of a contest, that is win. We also have the subjunctive form. Um, it can be defined as a specific form of a verb, mainly in the infinitive form of a verb is used without to indicate that something is being suggested, wished for, or a hypothetical rather than actual. So this subjunctive help us to make a special emphasis on the suggested wish or hypothetical situation. For example, we in the hypothetical situations, like with using if, we use always for the first person where, or all the pronouns. If I were, if you were, if she were. Yes, if you were, all of them we use were. So for you to bear in mind, if I were you, I would take that job. You know, the correct way in the grammar is that for the past of the verb to be is if I was. Yes, but like this is subjunctive. This is because we want to mark an specific intention if I were you. So if I am taking your place. So that is why we use it. It is important that they be aware of the political situation. Yes, we are marking in here the importance of being. So we use the full form over here. So remember that we mainly don't use the verb to be as be, in without any conjugation. But in this case, we use it in there in the base form. She suggested he wait before planning. They recommended we not approve that budget. God save the queen. We also have more phrasal verbs for managing subjects and topics. For example, bring up. When you want to start talking in a meeting, you say to bring up to the conversation, and you start to introducing your topic. To get on, it means to start talking about after a discussion. For example, you stopped and you want to continue discussing the main topic, you say to get on. Run through, it means like to repeat um, a topic or something like quickly when someone, for example, comes late to a meeting and you want to mm, introduce to the person or to retell the story, but you are running through because you don't have the full time that you already spent in the meeting. Leave aside is the not talk about a specific topic, like you kind of don't talk about it because you already have an opportunity to talk about something else and you don't want to talk about it, so you're not discussing, you leave aside a topic. To come back to return to a place. To spell out, it means to explain in detail something. Yes, for example, this is the opposite of run through, this spell out. And to deal with, it is to discuss or to give attention or to, try to speak about something special. Or it could be also to be able to work about a specific topic. This other topic is reciprocal pronouns. What we do with reciprocal pronouns is that we use it to specify that two or more subjects are acting in the same way towards the other or the others. We have these two, each other and one another. Entonces, each other, cada uno. Jane and Dave love each other. Se aman cada uno. ¿Ya? The gangsters were fighting one another. Los mafiosos estaban peleando el uno contra el otro. O el uno al otro. El otro es cada uno y este es del uno al otro. ¿Ya? Mm, each other could be two people, o puede ser más, ¿cierto? Puede ser más, pero normalmente utilizamos el uno, cada uno, ¿sí? Cuando estamos hablando entre dos. Y one another puede ser más de dos. Eh, all right, so these adjectives to talk about your strengths and weaknesses mainly used when you want to get into a job interview. So you can use these words to tell that you are strong in some particular adjectives, these strengths: outgoing, disciplined, generous, kind, smart, organized, respectful, and hardworking. Or you can also use weaknesses: disorganized, lazy, naive, talkative, egoistic, stubborn, unpunctual, grumpy, and thoughtless. Yes, the main point over here is not to say that you're weak, yeah, just to mention that you need to that you have learned from those weaknesses, but you already overcome them, or yes, overpass them. All right, let's continue with the future continuous. Future continuous is a form in the future to talk about an event that is going to be like happening during a certain period of time in the future. We have this example. Colombia and Argentina, Colombia and Argentina will be playing as a host countries in the next Copa America. That was in 2020, but yeah, now it wasn't. So the grammar structure is for the affirmative, I plus will be, always will be, traveling, the ing form of the main verb. And you can add clause of time, to make emphasis on that future tense. My dad will not be working tomorrow. He's traveling tonight. So in the past, in the future continuous, we will have this will not, or you can use won't, the contracted form for the negative part. Will you be working in your dream job once you finish your career? Where will you be living after you graduate from university? So for the questions, we are moving the auxiliary that in this case is will to the beginning of the sentence. And if we have a WH word, we add it very to the beginning. All right, we are going to continue with the future perfect. Future perfect is used to describe actions that will be finished in a specific moment of the future, yeah? You know that you are talking like future and that something's gonna be finished at a certain period of time. Humans will have conquered Mars by 2050 or 2050. In here, the structures. I will have graduated. So we have in here the auxiliary will have or won't have plus the um, main verb using the past participle form. No, it is past participle because, but if you have will, you know that it is future. I will have graduated but next year. Me habré graduado para el año entrante. ¿Listo? That is the idea of this tense. In the negative form, we use not directly in will not or won't. And for the question, we are moving the auxiliary to the beginning once again. If you have a WH word, you add it at the beginning. All right, we're almost finishing, guys. We have also phrasal verbs, more phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs related to job interviews. For example, you can say take on, call off, go over, put up with, look over, pencil in, knock off, snow under with, stuck in a rut, get stuck off, and headhunted. Each one has its meanings, but remember that if you need to conjugate this in one tense, for example, in the past, you need to conjugate the verb over there. For example, snow under with to overwhelm something with work. Yes, for example, she was snow under with the amount of papers, the paperwork. Being stuck in a rut is to be in a monotony, but you have over here all the definitions for you to burn them into your mind. And the final topic that we have today, how plus adjective or plus adverbs. We can use the WH word how to ask for different kinds of descriptions. Yes, we are using this when we want to know about an specifically adjective or adverb, and a specific quality of something, because you can talk about a place, about different types of things that you can have in a place. For example, the weather, the amount of noise, you know, the people. You can talk about different descriptions, but with using how, you can ask about a specific quality of a city. For example, how cold is Bogota? So you are specifically asking about this kind of description that you can have about a city. How cold is Bogota? How effectively do students work? So we have in here the structure of adjective or adverb. But in here with the adverb we have we to use an auxiliary. Do, does, will, would, yeah, the one that you need for the tense that you are talking. And in here, the conjugation would be in the verb to be. All right, guys. So let's move to Canvas to check our tasks. Over here, they are all our activities to present. All right. Remember that you in our course we use the modulo section, right? The synchronizations are saved over here. For example, this one is gonna be saved in here. And for the activities, you will need to read this text, reader number 1 for 1.1 and 1.2, the reader number 2 for 1 and 2.2, and the reader number 3 for 3.1 and 3.2. Remember that these learning activities are workshops, so you can enter and go out from them as many times as you need before presenting them. Do not press on the button entregar until you are sure you completed all the activities. But with these quizzes, you do need to be sure to present all of the activities during the 75 minutes that is going to be held each exam, because they are going to be test for you. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining to this class. Remember that if you have any extra doubt, you can always contact me through the telephone number 546-0600, and the extension number is 1212. And but if you have an extra doubt and you cannot call, you can send me an email through the Canvas platform, and I will be always there to answer you. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next opportunity. Goodbye, goodbye.